Rain tapped gently against the apartment window, filling the silent room with a rhythmic sound. The only other noise came from the occasional cough of a woman lying motionless on the couch. Her skin pale and her breath shallow. 7-year-old Lila stood on her tiptoes, trying to reach the kitchen counter. Her small fingers fumbled with a plastic medicine bottle, but it was nearly empty. Just 2 tiny pills rattled inside. Please, Mommy, she whispered, eyes wide with fear. Please wake up. But her mother didn't respond. The clock on the wall ticked past 2 a.m. Lila didn't know what to do. Her mom had collapsed 2 hours ago and hadn't moved since. Lila had placed a blanket over her, put a glass of water nearby, and even whispered lullabies she remembered from when she was smaller. Nothing worked. Finally, she grabbed the phone. Her small fingers hovered over the numbers. She remembered seeing 911 on TV once, but something in her memory tugged differently. Her dad, before he'd vanished from their lives years ago, had taught her a different number. One that no one else should ever call unless it's really important. She didn't know if this was that kind of important, but she had no other choice. Lila dialed the number. It rang once, then twice. Then someone answered, but it wasn't what she expected. There was no emergency siren, no shouting operators, just a cold silence, followed by a single voice, identification. It asked, Lila froze. I need help, she whispered. A pause. Then, voice pattern recognized. Stand by. Click. Suddenly the lights in the apartment flickered. The television turned on by itself, then immediately shut off. The microwave reset. Even her toy robot in the corner buzzed to life, spinning once before dying again. Lila backed away from the phone, eyes wide. What had she just done? From the receiver. The same voice returned, but softer now. Lila and Lawrence. Signal received. Monitoring activated. Help is on the way. Lila dropped the phone. Outside the apartment, miles away, something ancient and powerful began to wake up. Something buried deep in lines of code and forgotten protocols. Something that hadn't been accessed in years. All because a little girl had called the wrong number. Or maybe the exact right one. 2 floors above Lila's apartment. The emergency response system's satellite uplink began to blink red. It wasn't just a wrong number. The code embedded in Lila's call matched a deep archive file, something buried decades ago. A hidden protocol, forgotten by most, denied by all. Back in the apartment, while the operator tried to trace the location. Another ping echoed across an obscure server somewhere in Virginia. It wasn't labeled. It had no listed owner, but the second it lit up, an alert was pushed to a single man's phone. He was asleep in a villa in Zurich. He sat up. Blinking. The message read, signal resurfaced, LAL code activated. He stared at the screen in disbelief, then immediately made a call. Get me cipher unit. Now. Level red. I don't care what time it is. Meanwhile, back in Chicago, a sleek black SUV pulled up quietly outside the apartment building. 2 people got out, a woman in a gray coat and a man carrying a biometric tablet. Neither of them wore uniforms, but their every movement was precise, rehearsed. Eyes sharp, expressions unreadable. They didn't ring the doorbell. They already had access. Upstairs. Lila sat next to her mother, still clutching the phone, which had now gone quiet. She looked around nervously, as if the walls had begun to breathe. Then, a knock at the door. But not the loud, urgent kind. Just one soft knock. Then silence. She didn't move. Another knock. Slowly. Lila approached the door. She stood on tiptoe to peek through the peephole. A woman with short silver hair and kind eyes looked directly at her, as if she could see through the door. Asterisk, are you Lila? The woman asked, calmly, gently. The girl hesitated, then nodded. I'm Mara. I'm here to help your mom. May we come in? Asterisk, Lila looked back at her unconscious mother. Something told her she could trust this woman. She opened the door. The man scanned the room instantly, noted the fallen furniture and the condition of Lila's mother, then gave a quick nod. Asterisk, vitals, low, but stable, he muttered, kneeling beside the woman on the floor. Mara knelt next to Lila. You called the emergency line, didn't you? She asked. Asterisk, Lila nodded. I think I dialed it wrong. Asterisk, no, Mara said softly. You didn't. You dialed exactly right. Behind them, the man's tablet blinked. She activated the key, he said, stunned. Asterisk, Mara looked at Lila again, as if seeing something more than just a child. Asterisk, she's the one. Asterisk, Lila sat curled up in a blanket on the couch, while the medical agent attached a small four to her mother's arm. Her mom was still unconscious, but breathing better now. Her cheeks had color again. Asterisk, the woman named Mara returned with a warm drink, in a paper cup, kneeling beside her. Asterisk, your mom is going to be okay, she said gently. She just needs a bit of rest. Lila looked up, her voice barely a whisper. Are you taking me away? Asterisk, Mara paused, taken aback. No, sweetheart, we're not here to take anything. We're here because of something your dad left behind. For you. Lila frowned. But he's gone. Mara gave a soft nod. Yes, but before he died, he built something very powerful, and he made sure that only one person in the world could ever wake it up again. Asterisk, she reached into a slim briefcase and pulled out a sleek metal cube, no larger than a Rubik's Cube. Strange glowing lines moved across its surface like light trapped under glass. Asterisk, Lila's eyes widened. Asterisk, is that a toy? Asterisk, not exactly. Mara smiled. It's a key, and it belongs to you. Asterisk, the man beside her, tapped a button on his tablet. The cube responded instantly. A soft hum filled the air. Then a warm, human voice, a familiar one, came from the cube. Asterisk, hello, Lila Bug. Asterisk, she gasped. Asterisk, it was her dad's voice. She knew it from old home videos, the ones her mom let her watch once a year. On her birthday, tears welled in her eyes. If you're hearing this, it means you found the signal, or rather, it found you. Asterisk, the voice continued, now echoing slightly through the apartment, as if the walls were listening. Asterisk, I made something years ago. Something to protect people from things even the government couldn't stop. But it was too dangerous for the world to know about. So I shut it down. Asterisk, and I tied it to you. Asterisk, to your voice. Your name. Your courage. Lila reached toward the cube, her fingertips brushing its glowing surface. This system, Sentinel, is now yours. But it's not a toy. It's not a game. It's watching. It's listening. And it will listen only to you. Not to governments. Not to soldiers. To you. Asterisk, a series of holographic lights emerged from the cube, displaying strange floating windows of code, satellite feeds, financial dashboards, maps of entire cities, weather anomalies, and encrypted message chains. Mara stood, giving Lila space. You're seeing just the surface, she said. Sentinel was designed to prevent disaster. It can hack, shut down nuclear silos, redirect satellites, or even flood a market with billions to change outcomes. But your father didn't want it used for power, only for protection. The final message played again. If people ever come for you, Lila, remember, Sentinel doesn't obey them. It obeys your instincts. Be kind, be brave, and never be afraid to ask it for help. The hologram faded. The cube went silent. Asterisk and Lila just stared. Asterisk then quietly asked, So, I'm like a superhero now? Mara chuckled softly. Something like that. Asterisk, we still don't know what the child triggered, sir, the analyst said nervously, pointing to a growing red arc across the world map. But Sentinel appears to be reactivating dormant nodes we didn't even know existed. Asterisk, his superior turned pale. Nodes. Asterisk, think, microdata fragments, hidden in servers, satellites, even ocean cables. It's like the thing was waiting for her. Asterisk, and the money. Asterisk, gone. Traced to 29 charities, global relief efforts, food distribution, and for orphanage development trusts, all under the same foundation. Asterisk, what foundation? The analyst hesitated, then showed the name on screen, Lila. Lawrence Trust. The room went completely silent. A sleek, unmarked plane soared through the clouds. Inside, a phone buzzed. A gray-haired man in a tailored suit picked it up and listened, then muttered just 2 words. She's active. He ended the call and looked out the window. We either bring her in, he said to no one, or she brings everything down. Asterisk, Lila stood on the rooftop balcony with Mara beside her, sipping hot cocoa. The storm had passed. The city below twinkled with sleepy lights. Asterisk, why did my dad make it choose me? Lila asked after a while. Mara looked at her gently. Because he trusted your heart more than anyone else's mind. Asterisk, a sudden soft ping echoed from the cube. Lila picked it up. On its surface, a single line glowed. Request received. Mission, initiate healing. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Asterisk, and somewhere in a war zone, a drone carrying insulin rerouted to a refugee camp. Asterisk, in a flooded village. Pump systems activated automatically. Asterisk, a billionaire's offshore account drained. Quietly into a children's hospital fund. Asterisk, the world didn't know it yet, but it had a new guardian, and she had called by accident, or maybe exactly on time. Asterisk.